Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Super Bowl 55, the old goat versus the baby goat. And everybody likes old goats and baby goats. It's the in-between goats we're not too fond of. But the old goats and the baby goats, and then you get them both playing each other. That sounds like a John Madden rant. Get the old goats playing against the baby goats, and it's just a whole bunch of goats, and everybody likes goats. That's my John Madden analysis. Hello, JB.
What's happening, big man?
How you be, JB?
Man, I be better than I deserve.
You're you're texting me on a new phone. Do you get a new phone?
No. I thought you got your new one.
I did. I got it right here.
I'm getting mine later this week, I believe.
People on the live stream can see it. I'm holding in my hand the new iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's a humongous phone, which fits nicely in my humongous banana hands. You hear that, Beaver? They finally made a phone for people like me. Here it is. Here it is. It's got so many camera lenses and stuff on the back. It's like looking at a spider. All these different eyes and everything. Yeah. So there you go. I'll be giving you updates. I really like it. The cameras and the things that it can do are unbelievable. I got no excuse not to be pumping out content right and left and all points in between. Just like here on this show today on a Reaction Monday in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. They are your hometown heroes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. That's right. That's where it all gets done. Right there at Farm Bureau Insurance. And right here in the studio, the Farm Bureau studio. So, what are we going to do here today? What are we going to talk about, huh? Did I have it correct is kind of the first thing I want to know. Is it really and truly the old goats versus the baby goat? I said earlier in the year, just before, remember that game when the Chiefs were getting ready to play Tom Brady, and I was like, here's what's coming. Chiefs going to win the game. And it's going to be the unofficial passing of the torch. Was that jumping the gun just a little bit? It was a regular season game. I went out here boldly on this show, proclaimed it to our friend, who's it? JB, I keep getting them mixed up. Is it Gator Man that always texts us about Tom Brady?
No. It's
Gator Man.
It's
Gator.
It's a different Gator. I just know him as TB12 Gator guy.
Right. Whichever Gator it is. Yeah. He always says, TB12 GOAT. He's now a Tampa fan, obviously, because wherever he goes, he hangs on to Brady's coattails. I'm just kidding. And so I was sort of ramping it up for him, but I said that game when the Chiefs win is going to kind of be the unofficial passing of the torch, the baton. Brady the
Gator
GOAT.
Nation, is that right?
I think you're right. It is Gator Nation. Brady passing the baton over to Mahomes, officially, unofficially, from the old GOAT to the new GOAT. And now we've got him in the doggone Super Bowl. Isn't that great? Yeah, and look, on that note, I wish y'all could see it. Check it out on the Sports Center Twitter feed. Caleb sent it to us on the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. 885-ESPN or 885-3776. They, side by side, they had old Yoda and then the little baby Yoda. And it said Brady and Mahomes playing in a Super Bowl. So the Star Wars people, I guess you'd get it. I'm familiar with old Yoda. I don't know what's up with this baby Yoda stuff. I really don't know.
It's going back to the Mandalorian. It's this movie on Disney Plus. Not movies, but series on Disney Plus.
Okay.
So they're going way back to before when Yoda was a little baby.
Okay.
And this guy's in charge with getting Yoda to where he needs to be.
That confuses me. I'm not a Star Wars buff, but watched it as a kid, and so I always thought Yoda in the original was old Yoda was just so old that that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
He just aged to the point that that's what he looked like. He was green and his ears stuck out to here. But that's not the case because baby Yoda looks just like old Yoda, except weirder. Anyway, thanks for that, Caleb. Appreciate you sending that over. Unnamed texter, country pleasing text line. The old goat last night threw some passes like a Nolan Ryan fastball. Incredible. Did he not? Did Tom Brady forevermore rear back and ramp it up a few times in that game?
Yeah. I mean, matter of fact, I looked at my buddy Buck there at the golf course yesterday.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
About halfway through that second quarter, Matt, I said, man, I got a bad feeling about this for the Packers.
Buddy.
You could just feel it happening when they scored that first touchdown, and it was just like they've got some kind of mojo working, that maybe nobody else has.
Whatever it is, he's got it. Nobody else has got it. Like the fountain of youth. He has it. Nobody else does. Look, he threw some Aaron Rodgers fastballs in the ball game, okay, and was dialed in. And then somehow won the game in spite of throwing 3 picks. Were all 3 of the picks in the second half, or were 2 of them in the second half?
2 of them in the second half. But those picks he threw were ugly.
Yeah.
He made a couple of really, really ugly plays.
What do they call them? Arm punts?
Yeah, arm punts. And,
he had some
Evans
ugly.
Dropped a couple that I think he
Oh,
could
my
have
goodness. The drop passes. Here's the thing about it. If they catch about 3 or 4 of those balls that he put right in their hands, he could have committed 5 turnovers and they still would have won. I mean, the drops in the game were just egregious from some of the past guys. Stuff you won't see him do, like Mike Evans. You won't see him drop balls like that. Brady. Listen, how about this? JB, somebody worded it this way on Twitter. They said, this man basically said, I'm going to pick a random team, and do y'all want to go to the Super Bowl? Let's pick Tampa. Why are you picking Tampa, Tom Brady? Well, let's see. My initials are TB. Tampa Bay, TB. TB and TB. Let's just go to Tampa. Hey, Tampa, y'all want to go to the Super Bowl? I'll come down there. And they are in the Super Bowl against the defending Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, who, in large part, dominated Buffalo. But the game wound up really close to my prediction. Did you notice that? I predicted 31-24 Kansas City with a late touchdown. But that's it. I got close, and it's it. Because, look, it's 38-24, and the game was not as close as the score made it look. I mean, I really think that's the truth of it also. I don't even know where to start, but how about this, JB? One more thing on Tom Brady. One more thing. Here, I'm a Chiefs fan. I ain't talked about the Chiefs yet.
I think people have been saying one more thing about Tom Brady since Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Two more things about Tom Brady. First, he's the football Michael Jordan. Now, I know there are some things that don't run parallel right there. I get it. But he is the football Michael Jordan. That's what we're living through. How lucky am I? I got to live through the 90s with Michael Jordan. And now I am living in my adult life through the 2000s and the 2010s and 2020s with Tom Brady. Oh, and Tiger Woods lived through that one too. Tom Brady is the football Michael Jordan. He is. Oh, but here's the second thing, JB. What was it? 6 seconds until halftime?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was the nail that started the coffin.
Well, let's hear. Why don't we hear what it sounded like on the radio from the 2 opposing radio broadcast teams? Does that interest you? Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Hell yeah! All right, so here's what it sounded like for the Tampa radio call. I don't know the names, but it comes from 98 Rock down in Tampa. That's the station, 98 Rock. Here is the Tampa Bay radio call with 6 seconds until halftime.
This is time you throw an out route, get a few more yards. Fournette, the running back, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw, throws a deep pass downfield. Got Scotty Miller in the open, makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scotty Scooter Miller, and Brady puts it right on the spot. Bucks score with no time left, or very little in the first half.
Okay, excited. Don't want to get too excited. What about the Packers' call of that? Giving up a 39-yard touchdown when you gave it back to him with under 10 seconds until half.
From the shotgun, first down, Tampa Bay, Green Bay 39, trying to work into field goal range. Snap to Brady on a deep drop. Now he bombs it out. Forget about field goal range. Down the left side of the end zone. He's got his man for the touchdown. Scotty Miller. Left side of the end zone. They beat Kevin King. Oh, my goodness. That is game-altering. 1 second remaining. That is reminiscent of the last time the Packers lost a playoff game in this situation.
I mean, the poor color guy for Green Bay, I don't know who it is, but he's just going, oh. I mean, you can't. Oh. What that? Bless their hearts, because they know. I mean, that was the deal. Look, you had a whole half to play, and that was the dagger. Brian on Twitter said the 3 interceptions by Brady were in the second half and 2 on consecutive drives. The first resulted in a Green Bay touchdown. The other 2, 3 and outs. That thing, look, Tampa's defense, they don't even get. We'll get to Kansas City's defense. Tampa's defense covering people when they had to, and as you say, after a couple of turnovers, go out and get 3 and outs. They were outstanding. They were outstanding against New Orleans, but honestly, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers and what you were facing last night or yesterday, it's a different kind of challenge. Man, so much to get to. Let's go to Lynn on the Davini Equipment phone line. Lynn, thanks for calling. What's up?
Happy Monday, Matt. How you doing?
I'm just right. Thanks for calling. Happy Monday to you.
Well, your Chiefs have made it back to the Super Bowl once again.
They made it.
Congratulations.
Yep.
They've got to go on the road and face the GOAT, Tom, who I hate to say that, but that's just what he is, at home. How does that feel, Matt, there at home?
Well, I know, and I was thinking about that this morning. You know, the thing about that, Lynn, is, yeah, it's a home game or home stadium, but I wonder to what degree that matters when it is the NFL we're talking about and the fact that they're not going to have a full stadium too, you know?
Well, that's true. That does help the won't be full. But I thought that was funny. I think that's why Tom chose Tampa Bay. You was talking about that earlier because he knew that's where the Super Bowl was going to be played.
It's almost like it's almost like totally calling his shot, isn't it? It's just incredible.
It kind of is. I hope the Chiefs beat him. I hope Chris Jones sacks him about 5 times and gets the award he should have got last year.
There you go.
I
hope
that's
so
really
too.
all I had.
Well, I appreciate it, Lynn, and I hope so too. And I'll tell you this, Chris Jones, I tweeted this last night during the game. You know, there was a third down there where in goal where the Chiefs held them to a field goal attempt. It was a big point in the game, I felt like. And, you know, it's a third down where he just shows up. He beats a one-on-one block, busts through, forces a quarterback out of there, makes him throw it away out of the back of the end zone. Chris Jones has a knack. He just has a natural knack for I guess that's redundant. He has a knack for knowing this is a big moment. This is a crucial moment. I've got to turn it up a notch. And he'll turn it up a notch and make a play on that key third down or just whenever it seems to be a crucial time in the game, he shows up. I tell you, Chris, whatever they're paying him, he's worth every penny of it, Lynn. That's my opinion. Thanks for the call. Y'all can be like Lynn. Call me on the Davini phone, Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson. They are your Kubota dealer in the Jackson Metro. DaviniEquipment.com. Check them out. Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. Davini Equipment. The number to call me, 995-1059. 601-995-1059. Back over to the text, and then I'm coming to the live stream. Country Pleasing Sausage text line. I will admit I ate a little bit of blueberry maple for breakfast and had a little more for lunch. It's true. I'll admit it. Unnamed texter about the Nolan Ryan fastball. Louvier says this will be the Brett Favre of Super Bowls. So many goats. Yep, lots of goats. Brett Favre, the Brett Favre of Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. You know, with everything going on, too, and the way that every rating has been down in varying degrees. College football, way down in the postseason. NBA, astronomically low television ratings. Everything's been down. Again, varying degrees. I just wonder about this Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? Tom Brady gets Tampa to the Super Bowl in his first year, did it on the road in 3 playoff games, and oh, by the way, he's up against a team trying to repeat with the next GOAT playing quarterback. I don't know. I mean, will there be a ratings dip? Or will this Super Bowl buck all of the television trends and actually be on par or up? I'm interested in that. Nick says, with Brady's luck, I fully expect Mahomes' arm to fall off during warm-ups. Hey,
That's kind of what it felt like last 2 games, hadn't it?
well, what were you thinking when they called that pass interference on Green Bay right at the end of the ball game?
Yeah, I didn't really like that call. But something told me that when they got that ball back with about, a minute 26 to go in the half,
Yeah.
that Brady was going to work his magic. I mean, it was just, it was too perfect for it not to happen.
Yeah. Well, you just knew it was going to happen, right? Here's the thing about that. It was pass interference, defensive holding. You can't grab the guy's shirt and pull on it hard enough that it stretches it out 3.5 feet and tugs him back enough to hold him up on his route to go get the football.
Right, but it had just happened the series before with when the Packers had the ball.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay intercepted the ball because the guy was holding his shoulder pad.
He held his shoulder pad, and they had allowed that stuff the whole game, just like Romo
Yes.
said.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, I get it that it definitely is pass interference. I can't really argue that you caught it because it is. The problem is you haven't been calling it the whole game, both ways. And now we call that?
I was not happy with that. But I mean, it was so funny to me, funny, peculiar, and funny,
Yeah, right.
of the way Brady there's something about
There's
it.
just something about
And
it.
then you just go, this guy went into the Superdome. Well, first of all, he went into RFK or whatever it is now, and then he goes to the Superdome, and then he goes to Lambeau, and just
To Lambeau!
now- and he's going to be the first quarterback to play in his home stadium.
All these
I mean,
firsts.
you could not have written this
No way.
any better.
No. And JB, how about in Green Bay at Lambeau yesterday? They said, attendance of 8,500 people. I got news for you. There were
Way more than that.
There were 8,500 people in Section E. Okay, if that's 8,500 people, I'm Aaron Rodgers. You got me? 8,500. They were closer to 85,000 than they were 8,500.
Yeah.
They had a lot of people in there. Now, they had them spaced out in distance, to their credit, but 8,500, my foot. Denzel brings up a great point. White Denzel. We haven't even touched on the Chiefs yet because it was expected that the Chiefs would beat Buffalo, and they did. After falling behind 9-0, ho-hum, whatever, giving the ball away.
Make no mistake about it. The Bills are here to stay.
Oh, yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, White Denzel said the Chiefs are 20. I saw this stat on Twitter. Chiefs are 24-1 with Eric Fisher, their left tackle in the lineup, the former first-round pick. He's a left tackle. When he's not, they have a losing record. They're 4-5. Blew out his Achilles last night. And so White Denzel says Brady is about to get number 7. Hey, you don't think – we talk about how a lot of times linemen get to live in anonymity as compared to, say, like quarterbacks and kickers and coaches.
Not true anymore.
But it's not true anymore. And hey, go in there and fill in for Eric Fisher at left tackle on your team that you're going to throw the you-know-what out of it the whole game against that pass rush and Jason Pierre-Paul of Tampa, he's not the only one, who they've been very good on defense, and protect a quarterback who barely got on the field because he had a concussion the week before. No pressure. Let's see. We shall see. It's a great stat, though. But stats are like bikinis. Remember that, White Denzel? Remember that. They'll show you a lot, but not everything.
Matty Ice coming in with the good
analogy. Jason in Flagstaff says, here you go, Brother Wyatt. Dr. Brother Brojo, a foot of snow already on the ground, and up to 2 more feet have started coming down in Flagstaff. Thanks for the video there, Jason. He says, random team, my foot. Tom Brady saw that even Jameis Winston could throw 30 touchdowns with Tampa Bay. Well, you're right. Very talented. You can see they're talented, defensively, but offensively they're talented. And then they added the piece of Leonard Fournette. How good was Fournette last night?
First down, 10 Bucks moving right hand off. A little stutter step by Fournette. Fights through a tackle. Gets a block to the right side. Got another block. He's inside the 10 to the 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Touchdown Buccaneers. Fournette refused to go down.
Is that guy almost sounds like John Madden doing play-by-play.
Refused to go down. He's great. Whoever he is, I like it. Look, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, y'all. Don't give me this stuff. About Eric Fisher, he's out. I get it. No pressure stepping in, just like we said. The Chiefs are a better team than Tampa. You hear me? They are a better team than Tampa. Tell me this. Against the Kansas City Chiefs and their weapons, you think that Tom Brady throws 3 picks and wins a game? No. We're supposed to be in a break, aren't we, JB?
Yeah, I was just texting you. You got about 14 seconds.
Okay, 14. Good. We don't need no stinking music. So I'm Matt. He's JB. We're just getting started on Reaction Monday. Stay with us in the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio.
The coldest beer.
USA Pawn's Megastore is the place.
Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick, and if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any 2 teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Now back to the Matt Wyatt Show.
All right, more with you here on a Reaction Monday, reacting to, a little bit of everything. Football, of course. Now we know who's going to the Super Bowl. Things are starting to feel like normal again somewhat. You still have some consternation out there among coaches in the NCAA, and particularly from a baseball and other sports standpoint as it goes to recruiting. Somebody, Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, tweeting that if the NCAA Coordination Committee has its way, the current dead period would end in mid-April with a quiet period starting on April 16th going through the end of June. The end of June. Somebody responded to that, said, so you got kids that can compete in 7-on-7 tournaments, play high school sports, but aren't allowed to visit college campuses? Help them make a life-altering decision? Well, it would just be more of the same than what we had really going all the way back to last year. That's on the table, of course, reacting to football. And let's see what we have on the live stream. Hey to everybody tuning in, Facebook, YouTube, all points in between. Sven is in here on the top of the show. He says, hey, guys, I was right and wrong. Brady won, and the Bills' defensive line is horrible. They lost the game, and Allen with his bad throws. And Allen was off a little bit. But, look, the Chiefs' defense is just, they're not a great red zone defense, but at times they've been really good. And Romo showed you last night some, and he's right. They locked up Buffalo receivers in man-to-man and just got in their hip pockets and didn't allow people to get open for easy throws. It just seemed like every throw was a hard throw for Josh Allen. Sven said, I told you Rodgers has one real weapon and an average defense. Brady has 4 to 5 weapons and he's got a good defense. Ain't no question. They got a good defense. You don't get the Super Bowl unless you do. And they do, especially with the road they had to go through. No question about it. Jared says, LOL, TB12, go do it in Detroit or with the Jets. The Bucs went 11-5 last year with Jameis Winston. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Old Tom's sly like a fox. Plus, Bruce Arians, who is a good coach. It was Bruce Arians' call last night on that throw before halftime that said, hey, go get it. I want to go for it. Don't just sit back, play field goal, or protect it. Try to throw the ball in the end zone, get a touchdown, and it happened.
This is time you throw an out route, get a few more yards. Fournette, the running back. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw, throws a deep pass downfield. Got Scotty Miller in the open, makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scotty Scooter Miller, and Brady puts it right on the spot. Bucs score with no time left, or very little in the first half.
No time or very little. Caleb, thank you. Gene Deckerhoff, voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Florida State Seminoles, and he says he is a public address voice for EA Sports Madden and NCAA football video games. Very cool. How cool is that? Thanks for the info, Caleb, on the Country Pleasing Sausage text line. Thank you very much. Now, I said Tom Brady is the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Sven says, Matt, Michael Jordan is nowhere near the GOAT. Did you ever hear the name Bill Russell?
Oh, Lord.
He says MJ is light years behind Bill, and I mean light years. Well, Sven, I've never criticized your takes, but I'm going to tell you that may be the worst one you've ever sent me.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be the worst one. Roshana said, hey, Matt, how well do you know Bruce Arians, or was he already gone when you got to State? I was there with Coach Arians for 1 year. He was the offensive coordinator at State when I was recruited and signed at State. The 95 season was Bruce Arians' final year as the OC quarterbacks coach at State, and that was my first year. So I got to have 1 year of being in his meetings, watching film, sitting there, learning, going through stuff. But I was a young freshman being redshirted, so it wasn't like I was really in the mix a whole lot. And then once the season got going, a lot of the practices, I was just over there running the scout team anyway, so. Yeah, but I got to be around him for 1 year. One of the coolest things that BA did was when we were freshmen, he said to Rob Morgan and I, we were both freshman quarterbacks. He said, hey, you guys, my house is at such and such and such on so-and-so street, and I got a pool, and I don't even use it. Somebody always goes over there and cleans it and stuff. Y'all want to go swimming, just go to my house, swim anytime you want to. Like, yes. And then I didn't take him up on it very much. I got busy, had to go to class. That's right. Derek says T. Brady may not be human. Caleb pointing out this will be the first time in history that a Super Bowl participant will be playing in their home venue. It really is just, incredible. Somebody said on YouTube that they allowed them to play, but the Packers' pass interference was so egregious and obvious that they practically forced the referee to call the penalty. I mean, it absolutely was pass interference. You can't argue that. I mean, you just can't argue it. Jimmy is correcting this. He says Tampa was 7-9 last year. The 11-5 record was this year. Yeah, so that's right. Tampa was 7-9 because I think we're talking regular season stuff, right? And it flipped. The Patriots had the 11-5 record last year, previous season, and Tampa was 7-9. Flip it. This year, Tampa 11-5. New England goes 7 wins without Brady. To me, that's just pretty telling. And I got to get the sense as I criticize. Vin says, no, Bill has 11 rings out of 13 years, and MJ couldn't win until Scotty arrived. The bad boy Pistons grilled him, says Sven. Not knocking Bill Russell. I still don't think he was to his team what Michael Jordan was to his. Just me. That's just me. On the Davini Equipment phone line, Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. It's 995-1059. Brian hanging on the line. Thanks for calling, Brian. What's up? Hey, Brian.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of muffled there just a little bit, but I can hear you.
Okay. I'm not hearing you through my phone, but I just had a comment. You probably saw this, but I think Bruce Feldman said that or tweeted that Tom Brady, when he was winning his first Super Bowl, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes were in kindergarten, and I just thought that was kind of a cool stat. I mean, just think about guys that were, somebody that's grown and you're in kindergarten. Think about the age disparity there, and those guys looked up to and idolized Tom Brady coming up, and now they're competing against each other in the Super Bowl.
It's just incredible. You're exactly right, Brian. I appreciate you bringing that up. I was talking to my wife earlier today. She brought that up to me. She said, hey, they just said on TV. She was blown away. They said on TV that Pat Mahomes was in kindergarten when Brady won his first Super Bowl. Can you believe that? And it just really paints a picture of, the gap in terms of age between those two. Yeah, but Brady, I don't know what Brady is, but he's barely human. I know that much. Brian, thanks for the call. How about that? Mahomes was a kindergartner when Brady won that first Super Bowl. Wasn't Brady's first Super Bowl in the Superdome in New Orleans? And they beat
That's
somebody?
Correct. Against the St. Louis Rams.
It's Rams.
Beat Kurt Warner on a field goal.
Yeah.
At the end of the game.
How about that? Let me see what we got
There
over here.
never was another Drew Bledsoe sighting in New England.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's successful. You know, he started a successful wine company. Did you know that? Drew Bledsoe. He's making wine. Yeah.
He's from Washington State, isn't he, originally?
Yeah. He went to college.
Wazoo?
Went to college at Wazoo. Yeah.
Hey, I got the pods turned up, so we'll hear the commercial music this time.
Woohoo! Great. Ernest T says something about wanting to be a buff, but I don't know what he's talking about there. You're going to have to clue me in, Ernest T, on what you're texting about. Lynn says, is this true, Matt? Seen on Facebook, so may not be an hour ago. Look, I don't know. It says somebody on Twitter made it look like welcome back to Rocky Top, Lane Kiffin.
I know Bo had a guy named Charlie Burris on his show this morning, a Tennessee insider, and he broke down the reasons why Tennessee needs to hire Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I would say that I would just say it this way. To whatever this matters, Lane Kiffin, after the first Tennessee stunt, has had to go all around the world. USC, get fired, left on the tarmac, coordinator at Alabama, Florida Atlantic, and now back. He's gone all the way around the world to have sort of some reputation Band-Aid, reputation recovery, and to go to Ole Miss, coach 1 year, get an extension, and then just before the second signing day, get the heck up out of there and go to a school that you're nothing would. I mean, it'd be like going back to the starting blocks from a reputation standpoint. So that's just fake. It's not happening under no circumstance. I mean, I wouldn't dare. It's not. Please take this the right way. This is not anything about Bo's show because it was his guest who apparently did it, not Bo. Whether it's a guest or an analyst or anybody out there, even going so far as to waste our time making a case for why Tennessee should hire Lane Kiffin. It is so not happening. The chances of him going to Tennessee are less than zero. Why waste any time on it whatsoever? That's a fake account. Ain't happening. All right. More. The texts are coming in faster on the Country Pleasing text line that I can get to, but I'm going to do my best when we come back. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Stick around.
There's a lot of noise.
There's a game on the back that's lots of fun to do. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Hi, I'm Mike Wallace with a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffo, the first all-new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow, and what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing. But let's hear what Mrs. Thelma Styra, Indiana State Fair baking champion, had to say about Fluffo.
I love Fluffo. It makes such a golden brown pie.
Oh, man, that's some apple pie.
Well, Mr. Wallace, that's a prettier pie than I ever baked with plain white shortening. And look how flaky it is. This yellow Fluffo is such a short shortening. Makes pie crust so rich.
Like cooking champions, get richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing results in everything you bake or fry. Get Golden Fluffo.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You know, I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats. A lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You know you like that. On Twitter, they are at HailStateGC. Or call them, 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. We wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me.
On your radio at ESPN 1059 The Zone.
Now to get back to our little talk.
Right here on the Matt Wyatt Show.
All right, back with you on this Reaction Monday. Thanks for tuning in. However, wherever you're tuning in, listening, watching, I mean, a little bit of everything. We've had greatest of all time in football talk. We've had greatest of all time in basketball smack talk, which is always fun. And in that particular argument, LeBron had nothing to do with it. Isn't that something? We've been all over the place. Yeah.
You're funny. You're funny.
Just saying, as the kids say, just saying.
There you go.
Hey, look at here. Thibodeau sent us a picture of this meal. Country pleasing original sausage covered in Mississippi State Edam cheese on French bread. Look at that. Bring that on right there.
Yeah. He knows where the studio is, too.
You got no excuse, Thibodeau. That was that was a nice way of requesting it on JB's part. Country pleasing. Good. Make your tongue slap your hat off, man. It's that good.
Man, I love to eat them, that Edam cheese.
Eat 'em, eat 'em, eat 'em, eat 'em, eat 'em. Chris from Macon said, is Tony Romo the best commentator since John Madden? Yeah, I think he is. May I express a thought or two? Now, it's just one man's opinion. Please understand something, y'all. Let's preface our opinions the same way that, frankly, anybody on any platform ought to preface their opinions or ought to understand. It's my opinion. It's one man's opinion. Opinions oftentimes aren't even right or wrong. It's like eye of the beholder stuff, okay? And if you choose to put a lot of stock into my opinions, then while I appreciate it, whether I'm right or wrong or whether you agree or disagree, just that's kind of on you. If you also choose not to put much stock in my opinion on anything, that's fine because it's yours. That's your opinion of me. It's yours. You know, you get what I'm saying here? So we go down the opinion road on this stuff. It's not a matter of Well, Matt knows what he's talking about. Therefore, he must. And I can't believe he said, there you go. It's just like the whole thing when people flipped out about when Kirk Herbstreit went totally off the reservation after the Mississippi State fight. I mean, say what you want, but Herbstreit just basically for a few minutes went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He did. And you can say, well, yeah, but there's sort of an underlying reason, and he doesn't like Leach, and his friend is this guy and that. Okay, fine. Fact is, he just went cuckoo for a little while on television. Okay, so what I'm saying is if you choose to put a whole lot of stock into his opinion about something like that, it's just kind of on you. If I choose not to put a whole lot of stock into it, it's on me. Okay, there we go. Everything's prefaced. We're good to go now. Is Tony Romo the best commentator since John Madden? Tony Romo and John Madden. Different in just about every way. In terms of how they saw the game, how they described the game, how they talked about the game. But two commonalities that made them great. Makes one of them great in that role. Number one, fun. You can't tune into a game that John Madden did or that Tony Romo does and not immediately get the impression that they are having a good time doing what they're doing. That's number one, fun. And number two, genuine, authenticity. They have it. Neither is trying to outdress the other guy. Neither is trying to be something they're not. Neither has or had illusions that their job was any more important than it really is. Neither fell under the spell that the broadcast was about them and not the game. They have fun, and they both were as genuine and authentic as you will get in that role, and that's why they're great. Among other things. Slippery When Rhett texted the show and said, Tom Brady's going to leave cap space for the right players. He puts the players first, and people want to follow a leader. It's the strength of his character and his commitment to others that makes him the best quarterback of all time. MJ had many of those same characteristics. I'd rather follow David into the battle than Goliath. Interesting, yeah, but you're right. Pay cuts, salary stuff, make it easier on the team. That's a good point. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Matt, in my opinion, what Brady does is simply make everyone in his team better. He doesn't put up the greatest stats and isn't the best athlete, but he causes everyone on the team to be better. Yeah, really high standard and wants them all to be better. That's a good point. And distributes the football. That's the thing about it, too. He never plays favorites. Never with the Pats. And on this team, they don't play favorites. If you're open and the read comes to you, you're getting the football. And does it consistently enough that everybody on the team expects to get the ball if they are supposed to get it and expects to make a play. Some of those drops last night, I guarantee you some of those guys, Mike Evans included, did not want to go back and talk to Tom on the sideline after that drop.
No, he chewed him out. I don't know if you saw that, but he chewed his butt out.
And he wasn't looking forward to it either and knew what was coming. Okay, and when you're Tom, you can do it. All right, Louvier on the Country Pleasing text line. I'm sorry, he's on the phone, not the text. He called. We could hear his voice on the Davini Equipment phone. What's up, Louvier?
I do enjoy the Country Pleasing text line because it's, all about country pleasing and my texts. But,
yeah,
one of them's better than the other, and I'll let y'all discuss that later. So, look, Tony Romo, I wanted to not like him. I really did want to not like him because of my disdain for everything that is Dallas Cowboys, including everything that is Dallas Cowboys. But that said, he really does understand the game, and from his vantage point above the stadium, he looks and says, okay, this guy right here is getting beat by this guy, and they're going to exploit that later on. And sure enough, if he's not right, and he understands some of the motion, but not some, most of the motion and why they're doing it, and the offensive scheme and how the defense reacts to it, and it really is enjoyable. John Madden did understand football and how to motivate people. There was one particular game. It was a Monday Night Football game, and Al Michael was the play-by-play, and John Madden was the color guy. And it was late in the game, and the losing team kicked a field goal to make it, I think, an 8-point game. And as they lined up to kick the field goal, which was absolutely worthless, it was not going to do anything at all, Al Michaels said, and there's a number in play. And John Madden couldn't get out of his own way and said, yeah, because if they make this field goal, then they can onside kick and they can do this and that. It was all about Vegas, John. and Al Michaels said, and it was, I wish DVR was a thing. I would have it, and I would somehow get it to my phone so I could, because Al Michaels took a deep breath and said, yeah, something like that, John. I mean, it was perfect, because Madden knew football, but he didn't know the rest of what generates the money in football, and Tony Romo does.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I love your show. The Super Bowl, John Madden would say this is going to be the Brett Favre of Super Bowls because there's so many goats.
Yes, he would.
Goats. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he would. No doubt about it, Olivier.
Talk to y'all later. Go Saints. The Saints are going to win Super Bowl 56. You heard it here first.
All right. Heard it here first. Early prediction in on January 25th. Saints next year. As always, next year. Who's going to be that QB in New Orleans? That's what I want to know.
Matt Wyatt.
Yeah.
Or maybe Matt Stafford, I should have said.
Well, if it were me, I'd have the same rotator cuff issue that apparently Drew Brees was playing with all year long. Allegedly. Jackson Mailman texted, he said, Matt, is the 5-star defensive back State has on campus the real deal? Yeah, it's a kid. I read about that on Twitter or Facebook. Maybe I saw it on Facebook last night. I got a notification on Facebook about a kid that's transferring in there. Again, I need to go back. It keeps changing every week. I need to go back and look at the transfer portal stuff, who's in, who's out. Again, if you just type in transfer portal 24/7 sports, they have a whole database for every team, every conference, who's in, who's out, overall positions, everything. It's all there. But State's getting a defensive back coming in from the University of Texas who was a former highly thought of recruit. Is he the real deal? They thought a lot of him, had a lot of offers out of high school, that kind of thing, has a relationship with one of State's coaches, and that's good. But, once you get into a locker room on a team, everybody starts over. I don't care if you're 3-star, 5-star. Prove it, and then we'll talk about it is kind of my thing. Ahead of that, I'm not talking about everybody just because they're a 4 or 5-star. Some recruiting service says they should be great. Let's see who actually does something and talk about them. Speaking of, more on Brady and Mahomes coming up in hour number 2. Stick around.
There's a lot of noise.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country-pleasing sausage is outstanding, whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
You hear me say Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson a lot on the radio show. Highway 51 in Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. And yeah, it's tractors, okay? Kubota tractors, they have New Holland tractors, big equipment, skid steers, ATVs, all that. But you need to know this time of year, if you're a deer hunter, if you know a deer hunter in the area, anywhere around Madison and Jackson, Davini has everything, okay? I'm not talking about just, feeders and all the stuff that goes with that, but tree stands, climbing stands, chairs, camo this, camo that, boots, accessories, everything for the hunter. Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats, a lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC, or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. We wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
It's time to get back to the Matt Wyatt Show.
Live in the studio.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Hey, hey. Welcome in to hour number 2 of the show. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team, Farm Bureau. Your local hometown heroes, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents all across the state of Mississippi, available to you in all 82 counties across the state. You can find them at favrates.com. I'm Matt. JB is here. Appreciate y'all tuning in and being a part of the show. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening. If you're tuning in on the live stream, hey to y'all. Online, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. On a radio as usual throughout the state of Mississippi. Hey to y'all. And lots of ways for you to be a part of the show. Text me on the Country Pleasing text line. It's 885-ESPN, 885-ESPN. If you need the number, that might be easier to remember for some. 885-3776. Text away. It's a 601 number. Or you could call me, like Lynn and Brian and Louvier and everybody we usually hear from on the Davini Equipment phone. Here's the number to call. It also is a 601 number, 995-1059. Give me a call. Love to hear from you. The Chiefs. All right, so we spent kind of hour number 1 on Tampa. Obviously, I mean, it's just incredible. But they're up against the Chiefs, defending champs, who are going to win the game, mainly because of Mahomes, but also because their defense playing really good football right now.
They're going to fake an RPO throw and a slant incomplete. Covered by Breland. Now it's picked off. Picked off the deflection. It's picked off by Fenton. It was a deflected slant and intercepted. Fenton, who was a star last year on the run to Super Bowl 54 championship, but a terrific play on the slant, and the ball flew up in the air. Breland on the coverage, and it has rolled into the arms of Fenton, and the Chiefs have an interception and a return to near midfield. Huge break, huge turnover. Kansas City's Rashad Fenton with the pick.
Yeah, several of those. Kansas City defense coming up with some turnovers. That's Mitch Holthus, the play-by-play announcer for the Chiefs on the radio from WDAF 106.5, the Fox up in Kansas City. Here he is. This touchdown,
it is
Kansas
down
City.
And goal to go at the 1.5 for Kansas City. Mahomes with Darrell Williams in at running back. They're going to fake they shovel it inside to Kelsey, and he leaps and dives. Touchdown! Kansas City! A new wrinkle to Kelsey. Zeus drinks from the sweet nectar of the end zone on a shovel pass, and the Chiefs have their biggest lead of the game.
JB, did you catch that?
I did, man. I sure did.
Kelsey drinks from the sweet nectar of the end zone. Mitch Holthus has a really good time. His catchphrase is touchdown, Kansas City. He's something else, man. Listen to his final call. If you don't think he's a big fan of the team he covers, listen, he is jacked up at the end of the ball game.
One more snap. Mahomes goes to a knee. The trophy stays here because the Lamar Hunt Trophy stays anchored in the hearts of everyone who shares Lamar Hunt's vision. The Chiefs' kingdom captures the trophy and it stays here. Yes, the Chiefs are back-to-back AFC champions. And the Super Bowl 54 champions are ready to run it back. They are headed to Super Bowl 55 as a road team to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mitch Holthus.
Hey, will they let them have their normal locker room?
You talking about Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would think. Well, are they the home team, though?
That's what I mean, right?
No. I mean, but here's a question.
Who is the home team?
Well, but here's a question. All right, let's just say that normal circumstance would say, whatever stadium you're in, it doesn't matter. This is the first time we've got a home team there, but if that team, because of the seating and their position, is supposed to be the visitors team, they use the visitors locker room.
That's what I'm saying, because they should be the visiting team because they're the lower seed, right?
But during COVID, isn't it sort of a blessing that now one team, just stay where you've been? Just stay where you are. We're not going to send a whole bunch of new guys into where you've been and cross the streams here.
does that then therefore give the Bucks a slight advantage?
Being in their home locker room?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. But it's a good question. How about Patrick Mahomes?
How about him?
Completed 76% of his passes for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a week earlier, he thought he was Batman. How many fingers am I holding up? 2. What city are you in? Kansas City. What's your name? I'm Batman. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Be yourself, but if any day you could be Batman, you be Batman.
This guy goes for plus 70%. Josh Allen was 28 of 48 for 2 touchdowns and a pick. You know, and this absurd, just absolutely absurd narrative that people drum up. It is just so lowbrow, least common denominator, sports talk, dribble slobber. Oh, Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is going to take over as the best in the AFC. It is just so dumb what people come up with to get people to pay attention to them. Is that how you want to go through life? Honestly, ESPN, Fox, Cowherd, everybody, honestly, is that the legacy? Let's see what the dumbest thing we can think of as long as people click. Put that on your tombstone. Came up with dumb so that people would click. Therefore can afford this marble headstone. Kiss my foot. Is that what we've devolved to now in sports media? Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. A week of that crap. I guess we find out.
Well, I tell you what, man, he ain't scared to run the ball.
He's a big old boy, isn't he?
He is.
I mean, step on in there full speed if you want to, but it may not go your way. He's a big one now. He's a big one from Wyoming.
Wow.
Okay. Real quick here. Here we go. Text. Let me get into them. I got backed up here on Reaction Monday. There's a lot on the Country Pleasing text line. Ready Teddy says, for me, sports is like my ex-girlfriend. I've told you about crazy, lots of fun, but end up disappointing me to no end. Teddy, let me just say this. If sports is like your ex-girlfriends, based on the stories you've told us, you might want to just, I don't know, go fishing. Speaking of girlfriends, Squirrel says, not even Tennessee would take back the girl that cheated on you. Talking about this rumor out there of Lane Kiffin to Tennessee. That's the second dumbest thing anybody came up with in sports media over the last 2 weeks. Are you serious? I'm going in on this. Okay? Number one dumb thing. Josh Allen is as good or better than Patrick Mahomes. Nobody with one spark from one side of their brain to the other actually believes that. But, buddy, you can get 5,000 idiots to click on that link, can't you? Lord have mercy. That's your legacy. All right, the number 2 dumbest thing anybody came up with over the last 2 weeks was Lane Kiffin to Tennessee. I mean, seriously. How? Why? Not any way under the sun. It ain't happening for every reason you could think of. Yet here we go. Click, 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 click. There's a good way to get clicks, and buddy, there's bad ones. Dumb ones. Respectable ways to get clicks and cheap ways to do it. You want cheap? Go for it. You can be like a Ready Teddy girlfriend.
Look at Louvier.
Louvier was in on this. He has a part in this. Ready Teddy has the best ex-girlfriends, and then he grew up and got a good wife. Teddy is my dude. Go Saints. We have 2 catchphrase sign-offs on this show. Okay, Gator Nation says TB12 GOAT. He's actually correct. And then Louvier says Go Saints. He not only says it, he texts it Unnamed texter said, Tony needs to talk louder. I can't hear him very well. Well, that's a problem for the sound guy. I mean, they put a headset on Tony and he just talks. They got a sound guy. They're paying like a full-time salary back there to make sure the sound mixes. So that'd be his fault, not Tony's fault. Also, if you want to nerd out on sound, look up sound compression. It takes quiet talkers and raises it up, and it takes loud talkers and lowers them down. Nick says Sean Payton needs to be on the phone with Rodgers anyway. Hey, look, or today he says, I mean, come on, seriously. Somebody tweeted out this thing last night, and it was a Photoshop of Belichick standing there next to a New England quarterback, and it happened to be Aaron Rodgers in that helmet. What do you think about that?
Oh, my.
Oh, my. Buddy, how excited would you be if somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers landed in New Orleans? How excited would you be? I'd be excited about that. I'm not even a Saints fan. Somebody said we're going to need a call in from John Madden on the fact that this Super Bowl is going to be the Brett Favre of Super Bowls.
You say that really well.
I think I've heard it so much. Brett Favre. Rebel Rex says the play before halftime in the Tampa Bay game was just like Georgia losing to Alabama at the end of the game. How do you not play prevent? Or at least put two back in the back of the end zone. There were no timeouts. Terrible defensive coaching. Yeah, I don't know what the call was, but to even give them a chance to get behind you. Hey, and just for giggles, again, this was that play. Under 10 seconds until half. This is the Packers, though, the team that gave it up. This is their radio crew on that call.
This is time.
Sorry,
man to man.
Here it is. Here it is.
From the shotgun, first down, Tampa Bay, Green Bay 39, trying to work into field goal range. Snap to Brady on a deep drop. Now he bombs it out. Forget about field goal range. Down the left side of the end zone. He's got his man for the touchdown. Scotty Miller. Left side of the end zone. They beat Kevin King. Oh, my goodness. That is game-altering. 1 second remaining. That is reminiscent of the last time the Packers lost a playoff game in this situation.
I love the poor color guy is so exasperated. He's just like, you can't. I mean, Frustration. Hey, over here on the live stream, Saints fan SB09 says there's no, parentheses, lane, train track from Oxford to Knoxville. It ain't happening. You can't get via train from Oxford to Knoxville. You can't do it. B-Dog says, not that it'll matter, but will Antonio Brown be available for the Bucs in the Super Bowl? It didn't sound like it, with whatever issue he's having. Anthony from Tupelo says, you can tell by the way Romo calls games that he has a genuine love of football and loves talking football on and off camera. I bet that guy still gets goosebumps at the opening kickoff all the way until the final whistle. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can tell that he just loves it. White Denzel says, Mahomes put up amazing numbers yesterday on a bad foot. Imagine if he's more healthy for the Super Bowl. Here's the thing about it, though. Like the matchup, we're talking about the quarterbacks, but you look at the way the way Tampa's defense and secondary covered Green Bay's receivers, tight ends. That Tampa Bay defense has been really good. Okay, but the last 2 weeks they had to cover who? They had to cover the Saints with Michael Thomas, their best, coming off an injury, with a quarterback who was playing with an injury and didn't have the arm. This week they had to go in there and defend and cover Green Bay, whose quarterback no issues whatsoever, but really has one main weapon who made some plays, but they covered him. For Tampa's defense, this is a whole different level of challenge. Not only defending Mahomes, who, like you say, is going to be 2 weeks healthier, but the weapons that he's throwing it to. Just the combination of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. Travis Kelsey sets a record. Listen, Travis Kelsey is an unbelievable athlete at tight end for Kansas City. I have no doubt in my mind that Travis Kelsey could be like an all-star right fielder. He would be a 95-mile-an-hour closer on the mound in baseball, an all-star DH. He would be an all-conference, small forward on somebody's basketball team. He could right now be a defensive end if he wanted to, no question. Had he decided to play quarterback, he'd be good at that. Guy is unbelievable. And oh, by the way, everything I just said about Travis Kelce is true. And guess what he was? 2-star recruit, went to Cincinnati because his brother played there, who, by the way, also plays in the NFL, if you didn't already know. But the weapons, I don't know what, I should know this. Is Sammy Watkins' deal permanent? Or is there a chance he comes back for the Super Bowl?
I think there's a slight chance he gets back.
Okay. Edwards-Helaire.
My Lord, if you get the ball to Tyreek and nobody can find it, much less catch him.
It's unbelievable.
Don't you think?
I agree. I mean, like sometimes
I've always heard that analogy about somebody being a water bug.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen water bugs move as fast as him.
I mean, look at the challenge again, though, for Tampa's defense. As good as they've been, Kelce, how you going man-to-man Kelce? I got news for you. You're not. How you going man-to-man Tyreek Hill? You're not. How you going to man-to-man Mecole Hardman? No. What if Sammy Watkins is back? Throw him in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, now you faced Kamara 2 weeks ago. This week for Green Bay, who'd you cover out of the backfield? You didn't have to. What are you going to do with Edwards-Helaire and Williams? I'm just saying. And Bell, I don't know if Bell's back or not. I think the defensive challenge for Tampa Bay is going to be too steep. Now, it's also going to be steep for, obviously, for Kansas City flip-flop, defending Tom Brady and his weapons. By the way, I know that Gronk gets down the field. He's certainly fast enough because he's massive, but he runs like I feel. I saw Gronk lumbering down the field last night after that one catch. I thought, he's a good athlete. He's moving. But he looks the way I feel when I have to move. Like he's getting old and stiff. Great numbers. No doubt about it on a bad foot. Mansplain says, JB, give Matt a Snickers. He needs to calm down.
You check your text message?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. You sent me a Snickers gif. I wish it was a real Snickers. I wish there was a way to teleport a Snickers here to me. I'm loving the snow pics, Jason. Thanks for sending those along. He says, listen, I'm going to read this word for word, okay? Grammatically. Jason out in Flagstaff, Arizona says, ain't nobody passing Mahomes as long as Andy Reid is his coach. Louvier says the painkiller in Mahomes' toe is quite literally the Brett Favre of needles. What do they call that? Cortisone? Hold on. Air quotes. Cortisone. B-Dog says, since you pointed it out, I can't stop laughing at the color guy on that Tampa Bay touchdown call. You want to hear it? It's kind of a long call, so I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the color guy, whoever's the color analyst on the Green Bay radio call of that touchdown for Tampa right before half, he's just like, but you can't listen to him in the background. He can't stand it.
From the shotgun, first down, Tampa Bay, Green Bay 39, trying to work into field goal range. Snap to Brady on a deep drop. Now he bombs it up. Forget about field goal range. Down the left side of the end zone. He's got his man for the touchdown. Scotty Miller. Left side of the end zone. They beat Kevin King. Oh, my goodness. That is game altering. 1 second remaining. That is reminiscent of the last time the Packers lost a playoff game in this situation.
Okay. Wayne Larrivee and Larry McCarron in their 22nd season in the broadcast booth for the Packers. That's fantastic. Sometimes the calls when they go against your team are even better than when they go for it. Rebel Rex on the Country Pleasing text line. Hey, Matt, in the paper this morning, they had projections for Elijah Moore in the draft from NFL people. One scenario has Kansas City taking more with the first pick in the second round. Can you imagine the Chiefs adding that to a loaded roster? Wow. I mean, and if you do what? If you get the first pick in the second round, you just go add more offense, and you go later draft picks on your line of scrimmage. And I mean, I think you're okay at linebacker, maybe pass rush, maybe tackle. Again, line of scrimmage because, Fisher's getting older. Now he's hurt, got the Achilles thing. So I don't know, you may go tackle. But anyway, I mean, it'd be fantastic. And if they did that, it would make you wonder, is there one of those weapons who's going to, because I don't keep up with their contracts, is there one of those weapons who's going to be free agent and go somewhere else and just make big bucks? At some point, Hill, maybe Hardman, whoever. It seems like Hardman been there a shorter amount of time than Hill has. But I mean, the other side of that, though, Rex, can you imagine being a receiver, a first, second round type of receiver, and getting drafted by the Chiefs? You talk about making a career. I mean, like giving you all the opportunity you want just on a platter right in front of you, saying, hey, man, here it is. This is what you've been waiting for. It's in your court. Go run routes and catch the ball, and you're going to have a little fun. We're having some fun. Long way to go on this Reaction Monday in the Bureau. Stay with me. Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick, and if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any two teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements, no waiting 3 months to get your promo credit, no having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month.
You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Who's not bald. He's just taller than his hair is.
Nice hair!
It's the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone and worldwide online at The Zone, 1059.com.
All right. Back with you here, rolling along in hour number 2 in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I stay connected to you because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. I had the good experience of upgrading my phone this past week and weekend. I went in, my old one was the iPhone 8, everything working well. It's just all busted up and it was old. And I was interested in upgrading. It was time to do it and get the one with the new cameras. And so I was interested in this, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. A little bigger, a little heavier, but better cameras. A little more storage, faster processor, all that stuff. And so I went, and they actually at my location, the one I went to in Tupelo, where my friend Greg is the manager there, and they do a great job. And when I got down there, he was like, "Hey, we don't have one here yet that is the extra storage, a 256 gig storage. I'll get it overnighted here. It'll be here tomorrow." And sure enough, got it overnighted. Next day he called me. I went and actually did the curbside. And so he came out, grabbed my old phone, ran back in, brings it back out. We're ready to go. There it is. So I hold it in my hand, the new one. The iPhone 12 Pro Max from C Spire on the network that is #1.
You get a case for it yet?
Yeah, there's a case on it. He told me, "Matt."
Good.
I told Greg, I said, "I don't really want a case." He says, "Matt, I'm going to get you a case."
Famous last words.
"No, Greg, I'm good. I'm okay. I kind of like it naked." "Matt, I'm putting a case on your phone for you." I'm like, okay. So it's got one, and it's kind of thin. And you know what you can do with this phone? Like, it's got a magnet built into the back of it that allows you to put accessories on there via a magnet, but it also has a deal where you can do the setting where either you tap the back of the phone, you tap the back of the phone twice or tap it 3 times, and you can program it to do different things. So like right now, I have programmed my phone to, if I tap it twice on the back where the little Apple logo is, it takes a screenshot. That's the command to do that. Isn't that neat? Sure is. All right, so y'all give me a call on the Davini phone, 995-1059. Text me, country please, and text 885-ESPN. It's a 601 number, 885-ESPN. Miko says, not only do they have to prepare for Kelsey, the Roadrunner, and Hardiman, you got to prepare for Andy Reid's play calling. How good was Andy Reid's play calling on the goal line last night? What they went, little, not even shovel pass, but little underhand pass, like a shovel pass, back into Kelsey for a 1-yard touchdown. They went play action one way, throw it back for a touchdown to Kelsey. I mean, in the way they can just call it in an instant and execute it on the goal line is just incredible. What that offense can do. Hey, Champ. Old Champ the miniature schnauzer out there wants to be on the show. You're right, Miko. It's a big part of what they do. Hogjowl says, also, every second of every minute, Brady works on his health. His daily routine is 100% on how to stay healthy and young. Does it include hair dye? Maybe it does. Ready Teddy said, Matt, Roy D. Mercer, he of the "How big old boy are you?" fame, had a word that he used in place of BS. He would say bull butter, which is what I thought when I heard someone say Josh Allen is better than Mahomes. Ah, bull butter. Good. Well, looky here, boys and girls. On the Country Pleasing text, you got Gator Nation, who has come by to set us all straight. Gator Nation says, Matt, I'm going to do you a favor. I'll wait until tomorrow to call when I'm on a better phone. I might call, not text, every day until the Super Bowl. Tomorrow I need 60 seconds to explain Tom Brady. I've told you and 8-8 Jake and Confused Beaver and you too, JB. This is all coming from Gator Nation. This would happen February the 7th. Either the Chiefs era begins or it will be like it never even existed. And he has signed out per usual. TB12 in capital letters GOAT.
Means get on another team.
JB, I have a response for him. An audible response for him.
Is it proper?
Yep. Get an earful, Gator Nation, an earful. Like it never even began.
You got to admit, man.
That was clever.
He has been saying it all year long.
Oh, yeah, he has. He's been typing it. Do you think he copies and pastes his out cue, or does he type it in every time?
No, he types it in. He has to.
And never has a typo. TB12 GOAT. He left the hashtag off the last few times. I guess hashtags are out now. Let's see here. Squirrel says, remember, Matt, I hold the record for the dumbest text ever on your show, or so you said. Yeah, I think I gave you that, but now I've forgotten, Squirrel. I forgot what it was. I wish I could remember. But I really have forgotten what it was. Hey, here's a memory. Sven says Super Bowl 14 was played 1980 between the Steelers and the Rams in Pasadena, L.A. County, in Rose Bowl Stadium. The Steelers won 31-19, but does this count as a home game for the Rams because it was in L.A. County? Well, I mean, so technically it's not like they had to travel, but not in their stadium, right? I mean, so that's where we are on it. I do, though, appreciate you bringing up past Super Bowls. So that was in Super Bowl 14. Is that right? Yep. How about Super Bowl 21? Super Bowl 21 happened on this day, 1987, January 25th, 1987. The New York Giants defeated the Denver Broncos 39-20, Super Bowl 21. It was on NBC. The game featured TV commercials that cost $550,000 for 30 seconds. I found a little NFL Films recap for your listening pleasure.
Super Bowl 21 began in the brilliant Southern California sunshine of Pasadena's Rose Bowl. The underdog Denver Broncos faced pro football's dominant team, the New York Giants, and the constant pressure exerted by their finest player. linebacker Lawrence Taylor. Denver set out to use Taylor's aggressiveness against him by guiding his momentum around the pass pocket to give quarterback John Elway running room underneath the rush. Well, Elway's skill with a scramble gave the Broncos an added dimension in their uphill battle against the NFL's best defense. It was number 7's powerful right arm that posed the greatest upset threat.
Man, what a voice.
I know, quite possibly one of the best ever.
Matt Daddy said it sounded like Paul Harvey, but it wasn't. It was a Paul Harvey sound-alike. Yeah, and that's right. Phil Simms was the quarterback on those Giants teams in the 80s. And on that one. So they beat the Broncos 39-20, beat them by 19. Elway didn't get his first Super Bowl until, what, 9 years later? 98? That was 87, so you're talking about 98? Xavier on the live stream says that he believes the Chiefs will win. I do too. Sven says that Phil Simms ought to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm surprised he's not. How many Super Bowls he got? 2? 2 as the Giants quarterback? You know, Eli's got 2 as the Giants quarterback.
Yeah, the only 3 Super Bowls Brady's lost has been 2 to Eli and 1 to Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm. How about that? Okay, so the Giants, both of Eli's Super Bowl wins were against the Patriots, or one of those was in the playoffs?
No, they were both Super Bowl wins were against the Patriots.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah, and Phil has 2 Super Bowl rings. Interesting. Thibodeau, attaboy. He called me over here on the Divinity Equipment phone line, 995-1059. Thibodeau, you have the floor, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, what's happening?
Yo.
Man, so I felt like I was watching the Armed Forces ball last night.
Hey, Buffalo was bound and determined to start a fight, weren't they?
I couldn't really figure out if it was all of them or some of them or if the Chiefs were even remotely involved or if they were fully involved. But I will say that last major penalty, I didn't understand. Like, I told my wife, I said, this has got to be an offset. If they make this like a third or a fourth and forever, this is going to be stupid. I said, but it in my opinion, it really didn't need to be an offset. It needed to be a personal foul on Okafor. Because didn't he take him down after the whistle?
Yeah, and that was weird to me too, Thibodeau. I'm sorry the music's cutting you off here, but it's weird to me too because there were so many fouls, personal fouls in one call there against the Bills and only one against the Chiefs. I'm like, well, how does that don't make any sense? How's that offset? But anyway, that's what they did on that one. I appreciate the call. Y'all call me, y'all text me. Stick around.
There's a game on the back that's lots of fun to do. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Hi, I'm Mike Wallace with a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffo, the first all-new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow. And what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing. But let's hear what Mrs. Thelma Styra, Indiana State Fair baking champion, had to say about Fluffo.
I love Fluffo. It makes such a golden brown pie.
Oh, man, that's some apple pie.
Well, Mr. Wallace, that's a prettier pie than I ever baked with plain white shortening. And look how flaky it is. This yellow Fluffo is such a short shortening. Makes pie crust so rich.
Like cooking champions, get richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing results in everything you bake or fry. Get Golden Fluffo.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You know, I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats, a lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You know you like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC, or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. We wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me.
Radio analyst. And who's on your radio?
Right now!
You got the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone and online at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. Thanks for tuning in here. We're getting ready to wrap up hour number 2 of the show. We've got a long ways to go today, though. Hour 3, we'll get into some other stuff, some local stuff with you. Talk a little basketball. Speaking of, I saw where the rankings for the top 25 rankings in women's basketball just released. AP Top 25 has Mississippi State down to number 21, so they're still in the top 25, but they're down to number 21. You have South Carolina down to 4, Texas A&M up to number 8, Kentucky at 15, Arkansas women's team up to number 19, UT Lady Vols up to 20, and Georgia women's basketball inside the top 25 now at number 22. So those rankings just came out. State's men played pretty well, but came up short against Alabama. I think that I saw where Alabama jumped up to number 8 in the men's rankings. State gave them a run, but couldn't overcome them. Alabama still shot the ball well. Just a better team, more experience, shoot it better from the outside. But it was a good ball game. And then Ole Miss whipped up on Texas A&M pretty good. Low-scoring ball game. Ole Miss wins it by scoring 61 points. So that's some of the stuff that happened in basketball over the weekend. All right, a few texts here on the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. I'm serious. I had a friend of mine here in Tupelo, I think this was maybe Friday, called me and he said, hey, where do I get Country Pleasing here? Talking about in Tupelo where we live. And I told him, I said, well, where do you grocery shop? He said, Kroger. I said, man, it's in there. That's where I get it from. We've been doing the curbside pick up your grocery order for a while now since COVID got going. And just about every order we place, we put in and get some jalapeno and cheddar or some original, stuff like that. I got some green onion one time from the Kroger here in Tupelo, but it's here, and that's the same in most grocery stores around the Southeast. You check with them, walk up in there, and as I say Country Pleasing, please, and they know what you're talking about. Preacher Paul on the Country Pleasing text line says, I'm just curious, do you know why the Redskins are changing their name and the Chiefs are not? Just asking. Yeah, I don't know. The Braves are not, the Indians are. So, I guess I just don't know. I don't know the details as to what the major differences are. Now, I think with the name, let me take a step back. I think on the surface with a name like Redskin, there's an obvious difference there between Chiefs and Braves and even just the name Indians. But yeah, so there you go. I think, you can certainly stand firm on a name like Chiefs and Braves because it's positive. Yeah. But I think a lot of it too is probably political, and you work with certain groups, and if you've got their approval, you're good to go, and if you don't, you're not. But that's just a guess. So, Paul, I don't know. Jason in Flagstaff says, Andy Reid has always been a great play caller. You go back and watch the Packers after Mariucci and Reid left, they were never the same, even when they had better backs, receivers, and a much better Favre. True. And frankly, when he was calling plays in Seattle before all of that. And look, they never had this kind of personnel that he has in Kansas City. They never had it in Philadelphia. You had McNabb and Westbrook. And of course, you had T.O. there for a little while. They had good players, good teams. But, you go back and look at the way that they used Westbrook and the way he would get the football in so many different ways. Their play calling was beautiful. Man, they're doing stuff now. It's like almost unfair. The way he mixes and matches and uses those weapons and gets people off balance. And, when you have skill players like Kansas City has, and you cannot cover them in man-to-man, you can't. Over the course of a ball game, then you're so at a disadvantage. Okay? And then if you had a pedestrian quarterback, you'd still be pretty good. But you give him Mahomes, buddy, nothing anybody can do. Lynn said he loved that NFL Films voice. I'll give that to you again in hour number 3. We come back and looking back on Super Bowl 21. Giants beat the Broncos by 19. Phil Simms with a win over John Elway's Broncos. We talked about Phil Simms having 2 Super Bowls, but somebody corrected us on the live stream. I want to point this out that, who was it? Jared said that Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback on that second Giants Super Bowl. Simms has the ring, but he didn't play. Yeah. That's it. He was the MVP in 86. Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, here we go. Divinity Equipment phone. My man Jake, hanging on. Thanks for calling, Jake. What's up?
Professor Med, what's going on, brother?
How are you? Thanks for calling.
Oh, man, pretty good. Listen, I know you get the text from the last, I think the text said, what's the difference between the Chiefs and the Redskins? And he don't understand what the difference was. Well, the Chiefs, Seminoles, Braves, that's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
That means that, that was a great try, especially the Seminoles in the Florida section down in there.
Yeah.
That was the tribe of the, strong Indian, reservations down in there. With the Redskins, that's it's kind of slap in the face, don't you think? Don't you think it's like a derogatory,
yeah, derogatory. Well, and I think that's it, is like, Jake, like you say, okay, a term like Redskins, regardless of how I feel about it, you're whatever, if it's seen as derogatory by the group of people it's describing, that's where you have a problem, right? And so, hey,
exactly.
So it's obvious how that one's a lot different than the others, for sure.
Yeah. But Andy Reid, this dude played it. He's a great play caller. How he just ate up that zone. He just sent a tight end up to the middle and just let them stay there. And all the defense just go around his tight end, and Mahomes just finds him. and bam, that's 15 yards. Tight end just sits there. He eats up this zone. That's why I got the Chiefs they're gonna beat Brady. They're gonna beat Brady. I would say it's gonna be a field goal, so 35-33. That's my prediction on it.
I like the prediction, and it's very high scoring. And as good as both defenses have played, I feel like you, Jake, and that is with 2 weeks to get ready for each other. I think both offenses are going to score. That's probably just what's going to happen. And both offenses have the weapons, and in a game like that, quarterbacks are going to step up and play big. Man, I can't wait. I know that I wonder how do you feel about it, Jay? Because the way I have been is for a lot of the season, turning on games and fans weren't there and all this, I was just kind of like, bleh. And the ratings on television back that up. Other people were that way. But this deal, I got these two teams in a Super Bowl with fans going to be there. I think people are going to tune in like they always have.
They are, because you got two superstars going to be there. You got a young superstar that's rising up, and one going to be, exiting pretty soon.
Yeah.
And they're going to play in Tampa? Come on. In Tampa.
Yeah.
You got two superstars coming up, and it's going to be – that's why you can't be one-dimensional. You cannot be one-dimensional when you're a quarterback. That's why Brady is going to lose this game, because that defense is going to stick him. They're going to make him run. And, Brady can't run. Just like Aaron Rodgers, he could not run.
Right.
You cannot be one-dimensional in the NFL right about now.
Mm-hmm.
This game is changing now. You need some foot speed to get across that front line and get to that secondary.
Yep.
That's my take on it.
Sounds good, Jake. Hey, thanks for the call, man. Always good to hear from you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You too. I like it when he calls me the professor, because nobody has ever accused me of being a professor. Nobody.
Hey, man. You take that term of endearment for what it's meant, man.
Right.
People respect you and your opinions.
That's all they are.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you know what the difference between a raven and a crow is?
No.
It's on the back of a raven, there's a tail feather. It's called a pinion. So the difference between a crow and a raven's an opinion.
An opinion. I like it. That's the difference between a crow and a raven. Hey, how about this? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's like a dying
Heckle and Jekyll.
Like a dying crow, but still a crow nonetheless. Even a dying crow is a crow.
Man. I appreciate it.
All right.
Kind of like the counting crows. Around here.
Right. I'd rather hear a dying crow. Okay. Super Bowl weather. It's a long ways out, okay? But they are predicting 94% cloud cover, mild temperatures at 75 degrees in Tampa, but a possibility of showers. Right now it's at 15%. The anticipated temperature at the start of the final quarter is expected to be 71 degrees Fahrenheit in Tampa. Now, that's a long ways off, but it's going to be pretty decent weather and maybe a raindrop or two. All right, that's it for hour number 2. If you leave us, have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow. If not, stick around. Hour 3 coming your way in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country-pleasing sausage is outstanding, whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion, flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill, and it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
You hear me say Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson a lot on the radio show. Highway 51 in Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. And yeah, it's tractors, okay? Kubota tractors, they have New Holland tractors, big equipment, skid steers, ATVs, all that. But you need to know this time of year, if you're a deer hunter, if you know a deer hunter in the area, anywhere around Madison and Jackson, Davini has everything, okay? I'm not talking about just, feeders and all the stuff that goes with that, but tree stands, climbing stands, chairs, camo this, camo that, boots, accessories, everything for the hunter. Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats. A lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC. Or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. You wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
This is WRKS Pickens Jackson. Live
in the studio.
Live and local. This is the Matt Wyatt Show. Talking about sports from around the world and right here at home. Streaming to you at the Zone 1059.com and on your radio on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy to get hour number 3 started with y'all here today. Thank you for tuning in. Where you been? What you been up to? You just get out of school? Just get off work? Slip out early? Welcome in. I'm Matt in the Bureau, in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team. Farm Bureau Insurance. As I turn the ringer off on my new iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think I'll name my phone Max. Hey, y'all seen Max? If I'm like my wife, I'm always getting somebody else to look for my phone. You see my phone? My new phone from C Spire, it's working well. Had to turn the ringer off though. Like it comes with, I don't know if you know this, but like the new iPhone comes with a new default ringtone. It's one I'd never heard before. That's neat. It's the little things from C Spire that make the biggest difference. Check them out, cspire.com. I went through the whole process this past weekend of, taking the older phone in, upgrading to the new one. When I first went, they didn't actually have the model I wanted on site, so they overnighted it, got it ordered, overnighted it, was there the next day. They called me. I drove down, pulled into the curbside, that came out, and within about a half hour, boom, everything was fit, everything was set up, out of there. They put the screen protector on there for me, gave me a case because they said I had to have one. They would not allow me to, damage this new one the way I did my old. He's like, you need a case. So I got one, and I am off and running, and it was easy. So many things now have gone to curbside, or at least have a curbside option, and it was so smooth and simple and easy doing the upgrade the phone thing with curbside at C Spire. I was really tickled with it, so I recommend it if it's time for you to upgrade, or even if you're not with C Spire, you want to consider getting over to C Spire. They got deals on new phones if you switch. Check them out, cspire.com. All right, here we go. Hour number 3, everything kind of on the table. I told you we'd get into a little basketball, maybe do that. I watched some. I think JB did also, so we will get into some of that. Lynn, I promise you, Lynn said, oh, man, I loved hearing the NFL Films guy, his great voice, and it was a great voice. And here's what I played for him. It was on this day, January 25th, 1987? I think it was 87. Or was it 89? No, it was 87. This day, 1987. The Giants beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl 39-20. Phil Simms beat John Elway and the Broncos. And I found this little NFL Films snippet as they were describing it, and this is what it sounded like.
Super Bowl 21 began in the brilliant Southern California sunshine of Pasadena's Rose Bowl. The underdog Denver Broncos faced pro football's dominant team, the New York Giants, and the constant pressure exerted by their finest player, linebacker Lawrence Taylor. Denver set out to use Taylor's aggressiveness against him by guiding his momentum around the pass pocket to give quarterback John Elway running room underneath the rush. Well, Elway's skill with a scramble gave the Broncos an added dimension in their uphill battle against the NFL's best defense. It was number 7's powerful right arm that posed the greatest upset threat.
Isn't that great? I mean, it's just great. Hey, and JB, thanks for texting or tweeting me this link.
Yeah.
Here. I wanted to take a look at this real quick. All right, so Adam Schefter, ESPN, is saying that he's got a list here. There are roughly 10 quarterbacks locked into starting jobs for opening day of the 2021 NFL season. This is expected to be an unprecedented offseason of quarterback movement. His over-under of teams changing quarterbacks this offseason is 18, and he says he will go with the over. Now, is that just stir the pot, or do you think that's real?
I think it's real.
I mean, 8.
Can you imagine that though?
Well, I'm just trying to think who.
I mean, it's like me wanting to have hair like Jake Wimberly.
Jake must have just walked in and you're looking at him.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Well, okay, so he's listed these guys. So if we say unprecedented year of quarterback movement in free agency, here is the list he put out of some of those quarterbacks whose futures are in question. Here they are. Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Matthew Stafford, obviously. But that's three pretty big names right there. Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. But here's the rest of it. Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, and Ben Roethlisberger. Now, like of everybody on the list, even more so than Aaron Rodgers, it's hard for me to picture Ben Roethlisberger with any other team. And at his age, I mean, like, didn't he come in with Eli and Phillip Rivers? You know, one retired, now Rivers
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so Roethlisberger, it's just time to hang it up, man.
Yeah.
That's what
I
that
think
is.
that's what he was sitting on the bench next to Bernie about, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great meme. You know, so if he's out in Pittsburgh, then do one of these free agents go in there to Pittsburgh? And like I've told you, I'm sure that people close to Dak, they don't want to hear people out there talking about, you know, his next landing spot because they want to be in Dallas, and I think Dallas wants him to be there. But let's just say, okay, or what if it ain't Dallas? Man, Pittsburgh looks like it'd be a nice landing spot for Dak. Okay, and everybody's going to look at a list like that and start going through rankings and all this kind of stuff. But when you look at the list, Deshaun Watson, how coveted is Deshaun Watson across the NFL? These teams changing quarterbacks. And where is it? You know, is it Carolina? And who's going to be Detroit's quarterback? Do any of these guys want to go to Detroit? No.
As Brooks was saying this morning on his show when they were actually talking sports, he said that the Lions is the place where NFL quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah. Does anybody want to go there? No. You know, it almost would be apropos, though. You know how Brett Favre, when he left Green Bay and got ushered out because they drafted one under him, and he just jumped over into the division to Minnesota? Did he go Minnesota straight out of Green Bay, or did he go to the Jets first? I can't remember.
Well, you know, and pretty apropos in this whole discussion, too, is the fact that Jerry Jones tried to trade up to get Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, where's he?
And he's not even playing on an NFL team.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The article that I read said that Jones, he was almost distraught because they couldn't, so he settled on the 4th round pick of Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and now he's got the second hottest name on the whole list. Because I promise you, of all these names right here, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, and Ben Roethlisberger. Of all the names on that list, ask any NFL team interested in a free agent quarterback, and their list consists of 2 guys. Aaron Rodgers, number 1 by far, and number 2, Dak Prescott if he's available. Ahead of all those others. Ahead of Darnold? Yep. Ahead of Deshaun Watson? Yes. So then I guess it becomes easy to look and see who the teams are that have their quarterbacks, right? So Buffalo has got Josh Allen. Baltimore has Lamar Jackson. Cleveland has Baker Mayfield. Cincinnati has Joe Burrow. Scrolling. Nobody in the AFC South for sure has a guy. Maybe Tannehill, and maybe he's including Tannehill in Tennessee. Maybe. Let's just go 5 right there. Kansas City Mahomes would be 6. Las Vegas Raiders and Derek Carr, I guess, is 7, is what he's saying. Do you go Giants and Daniel Jones is the 8th? You got to have 2 more that are solidified starters. Who are they? Green Bay, no. Chicago, no. Minnesota? I mean, is that what they're pointing to? I wouldn't think. Matt Ryan in Atlanta would be 9, and then Russell Wilson in Seattle would be 10.
Goff. Did you say him?
Well, but see, he's got Goff on the list of guys who may change.
Oh, okay. I didn't
the
see
10.
that far down on the list.
Yeah. So that's the 10.
I don't see that, though. I don't see Goff leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, my Lord, he was just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, he's former number one.
Or you could probably say the same thing about Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He just won the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
Yeah. And I agree. Somebody said Sven said on the live stream, Watson is good, just way overrated. I agree. I mean, he's good. But I still think, I think if you ask anybody across that league, it's, Aaron Rodgers, number 1, premium. If you can get him. If it's a deal where he winds up elsewhere, okay, fine. Yeah, absolutely, number 1 far and away. But hey, is Dak in Dallas or not?
If he's not, then who does Dallas get?
Well, they just have to draft one. And they're in a spot to draft one because they were so bad this year. What is their spot? Are they in the top? They're in the top 10. I just don't know what the exact order is. I guess Lynn's telling me the Jets are going to draft first.
I thought it was the Jags get the first draft pick.
No, I'm sorry. I got it wrong on the conversation. Lynn's telling me that Favre went to the Jets first, then back to Minnesota out of Green Bay. So,
yeah, he didn't stay very long in New York.
Right. He had to go there first to get back into the division with the Packers. And if Aaron Rodgers were to hop on over to Detroit, it'd be similar in that he'd go back into the division with the Packers. But I would feel certain they wouldn't want to do that. I don't know, man. Of all the places across the entire league, and I know Cleveland looked this way a few years ago, and now that perception has changed because they won this year. But across the entire league, is there a worse place to go for a quarterback right now than Detroit?
Yes.
Where?
I would say Jacksonville. I mean, do you really think Urban Meyer is going to have his handprint on that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think the Jets are a worse run, and I think Dallas is a horribly run organization.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, if I am Dak, or let's do this, if Dak's my kid, and he's getting ready to get this next contract, I am doing whatever I can to find a way to get him to another team besides. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean going out and fabricating or playing, helicopter dad. But what I'm saying is these people have, especially Jones, to me, the way it's come out, just has shown Dak very little respect.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you're Dak, it's also who do you want to play for? It's not always just about who you want to play with, right? You want to play for Frank Reich in Indianapolis.
Yes.
If you can.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be great. I'm not going to say you want to play for Urban Meyer in Jacksonville because the NFL is such a different animal. There's a reason that great college coaches like Saban and Spurrier didn't hit a lick in the NFL. And it's because in the NFL, you don't get overwhelming personnel advantages. They don't exist like they do in college football, ever. You go, wait a minute. Teams sometimes go over in the NFL, and sometimes teams only win one game. Yeah, but guess what? It's not because there is some ginormous, scientific term there, talent gap from the top team to the bottom. They just lost, or they got hurt, or they're missing a quarterback, or it's one or two players off. In the NFL, 32 teams, and there are no Alabamas or Ohio States in the NFL. Wait a minute, the Chiefs, Matt, going back to back? Yeah, they are. Are you telling me that the Chiefs have a Grand Canyon talent gap versus the other teams they're playing? Absolutely not. So the point is, there's a reason. Great college coaches like Saban and Spurrier went to the NFL and And so Urban Meyer, it makes you wonder, Urban Meyer, for the first time in Urban Meyer's career, since he was at Bowling Green and maybe Utah, first few years at Utah, he doesn't have and will not have a talent edge. Just makes you wonder how that's going to go. Okay, you want to see it first. Okay, Frank Reich, Indianapolis, that's who you want to play for. Let's see, Bronco, I don't know. I tell you, I wouldn't just write off that situation in Washington. And I'm drawing a blank right now on the head coach in Washington who's been sick, who was at Carolina before. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But I think he's
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera. I don't at all think he's a bad coach to play for. He elevated Cam Newton and the Panthers into the Super Bowl.
And now, he elevated Alex Smith this year, coming back off that awful injury from a couple of years ago.
A not great, but at least the best team in their division, and they shouldn't have been. Okay, right. And I don't think he is at all a bad coach to play for, in the least. Okay, and then, you look elsewhere. People talk about Chicago, but I'm not really sure about that in terms of being a situation you go, yeah, I definitely want to play for them. Sean Payton in New Orleans, you want to play for him. I don't care who you are. Absolutely, you want to go play for him if you can. Jury's still out in Carolina. And then I think if you look out there at the 49ers, I think they have a situation, a recent Super Bowl trip, coached around what they had, young and exciting, know what they're doing. I think that's a situation where if you're a quarterback, you want to go there. I don't understand, again, the financials on this stuff like a lot of people do. But what about Aaron Rodgers in San Francisco? Home state? So what if Goff is gone from the Rams? What about Aaron Rodgers in Los Angeles? What about Dak in San Francisco? I think either one of those would be home runs. And as bad as the Cowboys are run overall, and as bad as they were this year without Dak, get a healthy Dak back out there and watch and look at the difference next year. I'm serious. Talk about what he does and how he elevates. All these idiots out here that question it don't know one thing they're looking at. You watch. And right now it's an if. Okay. We talked about John Madden earlier. What if, and tell me, JB, this isn't Madden on Mahomes. This is Madden and Mahomes.
Right. But we got one caller up first was Mark.
Okay, so Mark's here first. Okay, yes. We'll go to that in a minute. All right, here we go. Davini Equipment Phone. Mark, you're up.
Well, Mark hung up.
He's gone. Mark's gone. He must have thought I was jumping him. All right, so what if Madden and Mahomes were on the same phone call? Let's start with John Madden. John, you have the floor.
Hey there. How you doing there, Matt?
Oh, great.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, absolutely.
Even though they are, they were my team's worst, aren't some of the, remember when I used to coach the Raiders?
Yes, I do remember that, Coach. Very, very well. I sure do.
But I want to tell you this: if Patrick Mahomes, if he does good in the Super Bowl, if he wins the Super Bowl, I'm prepared to call him the Brett Favre of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, earlier...
In fact, I got him here.
Earlier, before you go, some people said that this Super Bowl, since it's Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, that this is the Brett Favre of Super Bowls. Do you agree?
It's unofficially the Brett Favre, not formally, because Brett Favre isn't in it. If Brett Favre isn't in it, it's not going to be the Brett Favre of Super Bowls.
Excellent answer. So you got Patrick there, huh?
Hi-ho, Patrick Mahomes here, and I'm here with Miss Piggy. Oh, yes, it is what? It is
Miss Piggy, give the phone back to Kermit. Now, how dare we insinuate that, Patrick, that you sound like Kermit the Frog? You I don't care what you sound like. You're the baby goat, the next to carry the torch of the NFL, and you're the future goat. I just wanted to get that in there, Patrick.
Yeah, we're going to do pretty good, especially with Kelsey. And you better watch out, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire won a national championship this year. He's going to win a Super Bowl this year! Yay!
I appreciate the call so much.
See you later! See you later! See you later!
It's like that song where you got all the backup voices going. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do,
Yeah.
do-do-do-do. But look at there.
That's
look
great.
There.
The man did Kermit and Piggy in the same call as John Madden. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that.
And got out before the music.
For a child of the 80s and 90s, anything Muppet Show, I just say bring it on. That's great. All right, just getting started in hour number 3, presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Overstreet Properties, anything residential in Starkville, moving there, need an apartment, need a condo for ball game weekends, anything residential in Starkville, that's where you go. Overstreetproperties.com. Y'all stick around. Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick, and if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any two teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, But the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Sports talk. I'm talking way back. It's the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone.
All right, here we go. Back with y'all at hour number 3. Rolling along here. Hour 3 of the show every day presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. If you're moving to Starkville, need a place, that's where you need to stop first. Go to Overstreet Properties and find the contact info, overstreetproperties.com. I'm Matt. JB is here. You are here. JB, I assume you got a chance to watch a little basketball this weekend? A college basketball in the SEC, maybe, kind of, sort of. I know I did.
JB's gone. You're stuck with me, Matt Wyatt.
Oh, JB's gone. What up, Mr. Beaver?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I am all right.
Well, let me welcome you to the show, Beav. Let me just say to you that Gator Nation is laughing at me on the text line because I made the statement that Patrick Mahomes is the future GOAT. He apparently does not think that there's a chance that Patrick Mahomes could have a career that would surpass that of Tom Brady. Well, and maybe not. But at this point, what is funny about me saying that? The answer is nothing. There's nothing funny about me having said that. And for those that are just tuned in, he sent me this text in the second hour. Gator Nation said, that's the same voice that said Dan Marino's year turned into Joe Montana's day. Remember, Matt, Marino won the MVP. And then Montana beat him in '84 Super Bowl. Favre went to the Jets first. He's reminding me of that also. This is what he sent in the first hour. Matt, he says, I'm going to do you a favor. I'll wait until tomorrow to call when I'm on a better phone. I might call, not text, every day until the Super Bowl. Tomorrow I need 60 seconds to explain Tom Brady. I've told you, and 8-8 Jake, and confused Beaver, and even JB, this would happen. He says February the 7th, either the Chiefs era begins or it will be like it never even existed. Strong words from a man who used to be a Patriots fan. More of your texts coming up. No, in college basketball this weekend, y'all know some of the results, but first up, a little bit of an upset. And Tennessee hadn't played that great lately. They've got a couple of losses on their hands. Tennessee got blown out last week by Florida. Then still ranked in the top 10, Tennessee sitting there at number 6. They hosted 19th ranked Missouri, took it on the chin. Missouri with the upset on the road in Knoxville on Saturday, 73-64. Missouri, as I told you, ranked 19th. They move up to 10-2. State played pretty good basketball. They actually played a pretty good ball game, but Alabama just overwhelmed them. Better shooters. DJ Stewart poured in 27 for State in a losing effort, 81-73, and 8-point win for Alabama at home. It was a good ball game, but Alabama kind of grabbed the lead there late first half, held on to it the rest of the way, even though State just wouldn't go away. State played pretty well defensively, but couldn't pour in enough. Couldn't hit threes, and you're going to have to do that if you want to beat Alabama the way they're shooting the basketball. Auburn went in there and put up 100 on South Carolina in a win. Auburn gets their 9th win. South Carolina falls to 3-5. Arkansas, no trouble on the road at Vanderbilt. Beat them by 21. Arkansas is 12-4, but unranked. Florida backed up their win over Tennessee with a win on the road by 8 over Georgia. So Florida, a couple of wins in a row, 92-84. Florida is now 8-4. Ole Miss in a very low-scoring game, which that's the kind of game Texas A&M wants to play, but Ole Miss is able to win it. They only scored 61, but they beat A&M by 11, 61-50. So Ole Miss, a couple of wins in a row. They went into that Mississippi State game 6-6 after beating State, now beating A&M. They're 8-6 and at 3-4 in the SEC. And Kentucky came to life, shot a bunch of threes, filled it up, 82-69, winner over LSU. So that's kind of your wrap up for the weekend. So you'll look to tomorrow night when State goes to Tennessee. So as I said, Tennessee's kind of reeling. They dropped them down to number 18 in the country in the latest AP. They'll be at home. Thompson Bowling hosting State, who's looking for a win, kind of reeling also. Have lost 2 in a row. Also tomorrow night, Kentucky at Alabama. Now look, Alabama's up there in the top 10 at number 9 in the new rankings. They are 13-3. Coming off these wins. Kentucky hadn't done all year long for the most part, but they are coming off a win and have showed, like against LSU, they got hot. And maybe getting a game where you go shootout end to end is maybe that's what Kentucky wants to do this year. I don't know. But anytime Kentucky comes into your place, it'll grab the eyeballs. And so they're going to put that one on ESPN tomorrow night at 6 o'clock if you want to watch it. Auburn is going to host Red Hot Missouri, who jumped up to number 12 in the latest rankings. That's tomorrow night. ESPN 2 at 8. So a late tip-off in Auburn tomorrow night. Also late tip-off at 8 on the SEC Network. You'll have Texas A&M hosting LSU. And then Ole Miss will play on Wednesday night on the road at Arkansas. Pretty tough task. Arkansas, not great, but they're 12-4, 4-4 in the SEC. And at Bud Walton Arena, they're even tougher. So Ole Miss will be in Fayetteville. Wednesday night, 7:30 tip-off on the SEC Network. And the other 2 games on Wednesday, Vandy goes to Florida earlier in the evening, and Georgia is at South Carolina earlier in the evening. So there you go. All right, so what do we have here? Country Please and Text Line, Country Please and Sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Here's a number to text, 885-ESPN, 885-ESPN or 885-3776. We were looking at the list that Adam Schefter put out there. He's putting the over-under at 18, the number of teams who will change quarterbacks in the NFL this year at 18. Put the over-under at 18, and he's taking the over, he says. He's only got 10 teams with a locked-in quarterback going into next year. The real Eric said, out of that list, who doesn't make a team due to the salary cap? Quarterbacks today have too big of contracts. Well, I think there's a combination, though. I mean, it's like you said, there's a reason that quarterbacks have big contracts is because they are coveted. So you take a guy like Aaron Rodgers, number one, far and away number one on that list. if and when and how he's available. I mean, if you in any way have the ability to pay him, you do it. Number 2 on that list is Dak Prescott. Now, he may be a distant 2 behind Aaron Rodgers. And I think he is. But I think he's a really solid 2. You're like, wait a minute. That list that Schefter put out there, you're putting Dak ahead of Watson? Yeah. Putting Dak ahead of Stafford? No doubt. Nobody else on the list even close to Dak in terms of how NFL teams would view him if he were available. The list of quarterbacks whose futures are in question that Schefter put out there: Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, and Ben Roethlisberger. White Denzel, country please and text. He says, in college there is a talent gap. In the NFL, there's not a talent gap, but a coaching gap. The better teams have better coaching, period. Okay, let's get into that real quick, because here's why that came up. Here's what I said. This is actually a derivative of a tweet that I put out there when I was watching Tampa Bay sprint out to that lead against Green Bay yesterday. And then you realize, man, Tampa had a sub-500 losing record the year before. And I know 8-8 and stuff, sometimes losing records to get you in the playoff. It's the NFL. But the point is, not a great team, not a great record. Had a pretty decent offense, but not a great team last year. Couple 3 players, right? Number 1, what? Tom Brady. Number 2, Gronk. Number 3, Fournette. And there's others. Okay, they've got talent this year in Tampa, but you make some offseason moves, and now, boom, they're in the Super Bowl. They're 7-9. This year, they're 11-5. Flip it for the Patriots. Last year, they're 11-5. This year, they're 7-9. What's the difference? Okay, so we can talk about coaching. Some rosters are better than others in the NFL. There are a few talent gaps, but it's based on 1 or 2 players from year to year. There are no Alabamas and Ohio States in the NFL, and it's just one, if not a major reason, the NFL is king, and it will be for a long, long time, is because from one year to the next, there are no givens. And we can say that even though we've lived through the era of the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, who's pretty much about as close to a given as you get in the NFL. We'll wrap up hour 3. Coming up next, some more of your texts. Y'all stick around. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio.
There's a game on the back that's lots of fun to do. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Hi, I'm Mike Wallace with a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffo, the first all-new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow. And what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing. But let's hear what Mrs. Thelma Styra, Indiana State Fair baking champion, had to say about Fluffo.
I love Fluffo. It makes such a golden brown pie.
Oh, man, that's some apple pie.
Well, Mr. Wallace, that's a prettier pie than I ever baked with plain white shortening. And look how flaky it is. This yellow Fluffo is such a short shortening. Makes pie crust so rich.
Like cooking champions, get richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing results in everything you bake or fry. Get Golden Fluffo.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You know, I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats, a lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You know you like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC. Or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. We wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me.
Caliber Sports Talk. It's the Matt Wyatt Show. 3 minutes for your life right now. On 105.9 The Zone.
All right, back with you. Hour number 3 of the show here, presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Stark Vegas. Starkville, however you say it. Anything residential in Starkville. Moving there permanently, need a place. Need a condo when you come into town for ball games. Maybe you're a student or know a student, need to lease an apartment. Anything residential in Starkville, go to overstreetproperties.com. Start right there. You'll get contact info. Get in touch with Kane Overstreet, my buddy, and he'll get you off and running. Yeah, so on that talent gap deal, that's why, it really was an Urban Meyer conversation. And you look at it and go, it makes you wonder, how's that going to work for Urban Meyer in Jacksonville? What we know about him, you would think, sure, it could work fine. It could work really well. It could be an upgrade. Sure, absolutely it could. But you don't really know, and I wonder how confident you would be in, laying that money down on that bet, because you've seen so many examples of great college coaches going to the NFL and not hitting a lick. Nick Saban, Steve Spurrier, a couple of examples. They weren't horrible, but it's like they were just another coach in the NFL. And the reason is they didn't have overwhelming talent advantages. Now, if we really dissect it, you could go, okay, well, there were some years at Florida when he was building that thing up. Spurrier didn't have a big talent advantage, and he won. Sure. Yeah, but largely built his reputation on teams where they recruited the heck out of everybody. And he won some at Duke, which got him the Florida job. And he's a little bit different example than a Nick Saban, but you look at Saban at LSU, can they recruit? Are they committed to recruiting? Yeah. Especially when he got there. Okay. In Alabama. But in the NFL, it's just kind of another coach, honestly. So you go there and there's no gigantic talent gap or advantage in the NFL at any of the spots year in and year out. And there's all this turnover and parity and bad teams getting top picks and it turns over. It's not that way in the college game. Okay. In the college game, you've got great college coaches that build these reputations a lot of times off having an overwhelming talent advantage, especially like what you have right now at places like Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson. Somebody brought this up on Twitter and said, yeah, but it hasn't always been Alabama. It hasn't always been Ohio State. You know, it was at one time in the early 2000s, it was USC and Miami. Texas for a couple of years. Okay, yeah. But guess what? How many teams are we up to now? 8? 6? How long's the list? So it's really out of skew, and the reason is recruiting. Okay, you go, there's way more teams playing college football, but there's way fewer that really have even a shot to get into the elite category because why? Recruiting. In the NFL, it can be anybody from year to year. Believe me, I'm a Chiefs fan, I know. Okay? Competitive a lot of years, really competitive, 8-8 sometimes, but then really bad. And then all of a sudden, Dorsey goes in there as a GM, starts making moves to build a football team on the line of scrimmage and gets a real coach in Andy Reid, gets a quarterback in Alex Smith that stabilized the whole thing, and they built an organization around it. And then now look, and before he even gets to, I don't know, enjoy the fruits of that labor, Dorsey splits. And where did he go? The winless, hapless Cleveland Browns. And what do? Assemble a coaching staff, build a team on the line of scrimmage with draft picks. They missed on some and eventually get a quarterback that you can build it around to at least get it started. And now they're a double-digit win team this year. Same GM, Dorsey. Tampa, 7-9 a year ago. We get Brady and Gronk and a couple of others and Fournette, and boom, we're in the Super Bowl against those Kansas City Chiefs. You know, I mean, Patriots, Cowboys, Giants, Packers, Steelers, 49ers, teams with these multiple Super Bowl wins over the course of their history. And how do they get them? Over a long period of time, because it is an up and down roller coaster ride from year to year. And that parity and that unknown going into every season, the interest, all 32 of those NFL organizations are trying to do what? They're trying to ramp up the competitiveness and the interest across the entire league because that's what's best for all of them. It's almost like it's like apples and oranges, the NFL to college football. You know, the NFL is like a 32-team conference, and there are no other conferences. It's basically like what it is. And everybody involved, all 32 and 32 owners are trying to figure out a way where all of them maximize their earnings and their viewership and their ratings and their fan base and their ticket sales. Not just a couple of them at the top, the 1% at the top. That's kind of what it is. Now, don't get started with me comparing sports to, you know, societal systems, okay, and comparing socialism and capitalism. That ain't what I'm doing here. I'm just saying, like, you got one where the whole thing is healthy.
Want to say,
and you got another one where just about the whole thing isn't healthy. What's the difference? And that's why the NFL is king, and that's why it will be king for a long, long time. No doubt about it. All right, here we go. Country Please and text line. Where was I? Let's see. JB said, can a player be a great quarterback without being a great leader? No. You can make a lot of plays. You can be a great passer. You can be a great runner. You can be a great athlete. You can be a great prospect. You can have great talent. But you can't be a great quarterback unless you're a leader. Yeah, because really, like, there's no middle ground on leadership. Like, you draw this really clear line, and on one side of it, it's leadership that's definitely in the right direction. If you're on the other side of that line, it's pulling the team down. There's no middle ground. There's no such thing as a quarterback who just falls in line, does his job, and ho-hum, and that's it. It's either you elevate it or you pull him down. That's how that position works. Good question. Reservoir Dog said, I was thinking about calling in today, but how could I possibly follow Kermit, Miss Piggy, and John Madden? Oh, I know. On one call. My man Ryan over there knocked it out of the park on that one. See, because what it is, if you hear Mahomes talk, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. Anthony from Tupelo, thanks for your text. Yeah, the other one we didn't have on the list of solidified QB guys is Kyler Murray in Arizona. And that's probably the 10th. We skipped over Minnesota because we didn't know, because you didn't have Kirk Cousins on the list of the 18 or so that he's saying could change jobs. But I don't know that you'd necessarily plug him in as a surefire coming back to be the quarterback there next year. I don't know. So Kyler Murray at Arizona has to be on that list of 10 teams that Schefter is saying will definitely be there at that position next year. All right. Gator Nation says, what? He says, what? He says, no, Beaver is my witness. I said I'm with Tom. If he is a Lion, Bengal, or Redskin, I don't care. I'm with Tom. He says, I'm like the NWO. I'm Tom for life. TB12 GOAT. Gator Nation, so you weren't a Packers fan. You were just a Tom Brady fan? Do I need to go back and search through the texts to see if we were ever led to believe something different? I was led to believe something different by your texts. I was led to believe you were a Patriots fan and then just flip because you really wanted to be a Tampa fan. And when you got Tom, you had the excuse to be a Tampa fan. Okay. I believe you because it ain't like it really matters all that much. All right, here. What is the see, Jonathan said them. What about Texas, USC, etc.? Me, I watched the Bills play football last night. No doubt. I mean, look at Buffalo. Buffalo gets a GM. They hire the right coach. They draft the first-round quarterback, and elsewhere build that thing on physicality and toughness, the line of scrimmage, or still building it. And they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're just going to get better. See, and now they've got it built line of scrimmage to a degree. I mean, they can add a part or two, but they can also go and hunt some skill in their draft now with that quarterback. I tell you, man, Josh Allen, big, huge, strong arm athlete and can run too. He's a athletic freak. Ain't no doubt. Now, Bama fan was weighing in. He says the Saints need to sign Matthew Stafford and draft a quarterback, or they need to sign Minshew. Yeah, I don't know what the Saints are going to do. You know, the consensus seems to be that, it's not going to be, hey, let's just roll with Jameis for a year. So what are they going to do? They go draft one. That's fine. That's fine and dandy, wonderful. But if you got those 18 players on that list that are probably going to have a chance anyway to change teams, even 15 of them, seems like free agency may be your bet, and then it's a matter of who is it. I don't know about Stafford, though. I just don't know. I mean, Sean Payton's a winner. I don't know what they'll do. Time will tell. Thanks for tuning in. That'll wrap it up for you today on this Reaction Monday. You got the drive with Jake and Beef coming up. We'll see you tomorrow. See you.